Singing, singing with you, singing with you is our prayer. Singing, singing with you, singing with you is our prayer. Singing, singing with you, singing with you is our prayer. Singing, singing Singing with you is our prayer.
Indeed, singing with you is our prayer. Good morning and welcome to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I'm Paul Brennison and I'm joined today with Tad and Emily Korath, Fellowship Choir, and one voice providing the music, and our tech ushers, Bill Beachley and Deborah Minch. And as I say the welcome words this morning, I invite you to shift into gallery mode if you haven't already done so, and scroll through the screen so you can appreciate and experience the lovely diversity of this congregation, because without it, without you, there is no us. You are welcome here today. In all your beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes, sizes that come together in your uniqueness, you are welcome here. In all the ways you experience and express gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. In all the ways you make your living, and in the places you are from, you are welcome here. Christian, pagan, humanist, Jew, Buddhist, mystic, Muslim, Unitarian Universalist, and if we left anyone out, you are all welcome here in the traditions that inform you in your spiritual life. No matter how long you are away, nor how soon you will return, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here. You're invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. We welcome you today. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of all people. And so we acknowledge that our community is located on the lands once stewarded by the Arapaho, Ute, Lakota, and Cheyenne people. Our congregation honors Indigenous legacies and respects the enduring relationship that exists between Indigenous people and their traditional homelands through our Connections to Right Relationships Boulder. We acknowledge that we live in a time when Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, and Latinx and Hispanic people are devaluated, violated, and killed because of our systemic racism. And we commit ourselves to becoming anti-racists in ourselves and in our institutions by taking actions to dismantle racism in society, taking guidance from and while honoring the lived experience of those who identify as BIPOC, and developing personal relationships between cultures. If you're new here, we're glad you found us, and we hope that in this virtual community, you can experience the warmth and love of this congregation. Each Sunday is different, so please come back a few times to really get to know us. And if you want to get better connected, please see the chat window for a link to our first-time visitors page, or email your information to our office manager at officemanager@bvuuf.org. Her address will be in the chat window as well. And do be sure to check out the fellowship's calendar and connections weekly for all the opportunities so you can stay connected. Finally, if you are a new visitor and would like to introduce yourself in the chat, please do. We love to know who's among us. And after the service, stay tuned for a virtual coffee hour and for the announcements. And so now the sacred time that we have is the lighting in our service, is lighting our chalice. If you have a chalice at home, you can light it with me as I light our fellowship chalice. And so we know where all the chalices are. Please write in the chat, chalice lit, and the name of your town. So say these words with me as I go slowly and light the chalice here in my spot. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action.
I'll now sing the bowl again, inviting to draw you deeper into the present moment and this, our beloved community. We'll enjoy a long space of silence together then afterwards.
Tell me of all things sacred, held to be true, beyond disappointments, pass to me memories, hold for me images that can renew, rescued or stolen from life, share with me dreams of loves and ideals, of loss and of lessons, of a world more forgiving than it sometimes seems, than it sometimes seems. With every story told, our friendship becomes art. Each passage of life is a gateway to the heart. We are one in joy and sorrow, and the music of our learning is danced in love and harmony with each day of earth's turning. Open the secrets of awe and of laughter, marked celebrations, small initiations that grew in their meaning forever after. Save for me moments of pleasure and strife, of rites of passage, of wounds and of healing. Show me the feeling you know for life, you know for life. With every story told, our friendship becomes art. Each passage of life is a gateway to the heart. We are one in joy and sorrow, and the music of our learning is danced in love and harmony with each day of earth's turning. Like a seed planted is memory shared. Walls will crumble when the soul is bared. With the courage to Each passage of life is a gateway to the heart. We are one in joy and sorrow, and the music of our learning is danced in love and harmony with each day of earth's turning.
Our words have the power for healing. What a beautiful song with every story told. Thank you, Tad and Emily. This month has been a focus on stories. And through music, especially, there is power to heal, encourage, provide food for the soul, and bring us together as one. And today is Music Sunday, where our focus is specifically on a service of music. Beethoven said, music is a higher revelation than all wisdom and philosophy. Music is the electrical soil in which the spirit lives and thinks and invents. Or as Hans Christian Andersen said, where words fail, music speaks. And when you combine story with music, it seems like it just enters right through the ears, right directly to the heart. So I'm going to step out of my comfort zone a bit. Let's play a game of name that tune. So here's the first one. He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him, you might say he was born again. Of course, the song is John Denver's Rocky Mountain High, but the song tells the story of John Denver's falling in love with the Rocky Mountains, and using a religious metaphor, he said he was born again. So here's another one. Far, we've been traveling far, without a home, but not without a star. Free, only want to be free. We huddle close, hang on to a dream. What's the song? America. Sung, as I know it, by Neil Diamond, but it tells the story of immigration, the hope of starting a new life in America. Music is often a voice of hope. But music can also be that of protest, songs of protest, songs of conscience, songs of concern, like this one. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters. The song I first heard it at my college in the 1960s by Peter, Paul, and Mary, one of the many songs of protest in the 1960s and 70s. So songs can tell a story. Songs can be there for protest. But music can heal the wounds that medicine cannot touch. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. So lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. What a great song, Lean on Me. It speaks of community and interdependence, and we are there to you, or we are there for you, and we're in this all together. But what about this song from a great musical? Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, Swiftly fly the years, one season following another, laden with happiness and tears. Words from the great musical Fiddler on the Roof that tells this fantastic story of Russians being discriminated against in Eastern Russia or Western Russia. These stories, these musical stories, find their way into the secret places of our hearts, of our soul. As far as I know, within all faith traditions, music is included for meditation, for prayer, for joy, for hope. In the Christian tradition or Jewish or Islamic traditions, as well as Native American, Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism traditions, sacred scriptures are often put to music, then that can be sung or can be chanted, and often includes musical instruments like drums and flutes. Indeed, music is the voice of the soul. And now let us join together and sing Lean on Me, a song that reminds us of our interconnection in our community.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load that you have to bear, that you can't carry, I'm right up the road and I'll share your load. If you just call me, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, neighbor, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. All right, Ted. That was funky.
Now, So today, thank you, Paul. We've heard about the marvelous powers and roles that music plays in our lives. I'd like to look at another incredible power contained in music, and that is silence. Silence isn't the opposite of music. It's just as dynamic a part of any piece of music as the sounded notes themselves. There's a lot that happens within silence. It's a little hard to shift right into thinking about silence after playing that song. I didn't plan that very well. But one of my favorite uses of silence in music are those moments when the tension of a piece has been building and building, the culmination of the musical story is about to be revealed, or the musical punchline, so to speak, is about to be delivered, and we all know that it's coming, and we can feel that it's coming, and we're on the edge of our seats knowing that musical fulfillment is just around the corner, and then, boom, the bottom drops out, and there's silence. And the wide-eyed tension is almost unbearable as we are sitting in a heightened state of listening that the music has brought us to. And in that moment, that's all that there is. That's all that we're really aware of, is the intensity of our listening. Pure listening itself without an object to be listened to. What's going on inside that silence? A lot. So when I rang the bowl a second time, which hopefully you heard all right, we sat for a little longer than usual in that silence. And there we were, just waiting and listening and maybe getting fidgety and maybe getting distracted and maybe getting anxious or irritated, wondering what this is all about. Was there a moment when you found yourself not listening anymore? Where you had been there with us and then for whatever reason you were no longer there? As any meditator will tell you, there's a hell of a lot going on when you're just sitting there doing nothing, right? The mind presents itself to you with all its plans and all its pains, all its regrets and its joys and its silly spinnings about. And as you silently sit there, you can look at them with a little more clarity. Or maybe you're aware of them for the first time. Maybe you can learn a thing or two about yourself and about your mind and about your feelings in that silence. And maybe you might think about how, with greater clarity and awareness, you might approach such thoughts and feelings when you encounter them in real life off the cushion. You're practicing for life off the cushion. That's how I look at meditation anyway. There's a lot to be learned from silence in those moments between notes, when we take time to stop or are forced to stop and just listen. This past year has perhaps been a between notes time. In my mind, I sometimes feel like we've been living in parenthetical times. Life was going on per usual before COVID, and then swoop, the rug got yanked out, and here we are, waiting for these parenthetical times to come to a close, for real life to begin again. Of course, that's not how it is. These past 15 months count just as much as any other 15 months. There are numerous lessons to be learned, numerous stories to be told within these silenter times. I wonder if this past year has been much like sitting on a meditation cushion in some ways. We're forced to encounter things that we may or may not want to deal with. There are some things we may have come to see more clearly than we did before. Perhaps we've learned something about ourselves, seen things with greater clarity. Interestingly, I've become a much better listener and a much better musician over this past year. I would say that I've perhaps grown more as a musician during the pandemic than at any other time in my life. Though I've played much less piano, I've led very few choir rehearsals, I've performed much less. This has been the most musically enriching period of my life. No joke. And that is due to these times and what was needed to create music for these virtual services. I've spent countless hours, and I know Deborah Mensch has experienced the same thing, countless hours listening to recorded tracks of myself and of others through headphones, listening for minute details, cleaning up each individual track, taking out clicks, background noise, nudging things around, seeing how everything lines up. I've learned a lot about equalization and mixing, what works well and what doesn't. I have a profound new level of respect for what professional music producers do and the knowledge required to do it well. And admittedly, I still feel like I'm scratching the surface of what there is to know, but it's been a satisfying scratch. I think I'll take this newfound habit of really careful listening with me in this in-between, when this in-between time comes to an end. So with that, I would like to share one more video. I guess this sort of represents the fruit of culmination of my efforts and my learning and my listening over this time. And it features members of the fellowship choir singing an arrangement of Turn the World Around. This song is in our Teal hymnal, and it's probably well known by many of you. And relating to our monthly theme of story, this is what Harry Belafonte, who is one of the composers of this piece, said about the song. He said, "I discovered this song in Africa. I was in a country called Guinea. I went deep into the interior of the country, and in a little village, I met with a storyteller. That storyteller went way back in African tradition and African mythology and began to tell the story about the fire, the sun, the water, the earth. He pointed out that the whole of these things put together turns the world around, that all of us are here for a very short time, and in that time that we're here, there really isn't any difference in any of us. We take time out to understand each other. The question is, do I know who you are or who I am? Do we care about each other? Because if we do, together we can turn the world around." Okay, well, thanks for listening. Bill, let's play the video now. Thank you.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living in the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living in the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? is life, a bounty wow. So is life, wow. So is life, a bounty wow. So is life. Water make the river, river wash the mountain. Fire make the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. Whoa, so is life, what you are. So is life. Whoa, so is life, what you are. So is life. Whoa, so is life, what you are. So is life. Whoa, so is life, what you are. So is life.
Tad, that was awesome. And choir, wonderful, wonderful. Great. Let's turn the world around. I love it. Each week, we remind ourselves of the abundance, like this song, the abundance of our lives and the coming, and this community by giving half of our plate away to those organizations that share our values. Today, the half plate benefits El Paso, nominated by Pat Balthrop on behalf of our Social Justice Council. El Paso stands for Engaged Latino Parents Advancing School Outcomes. It's a grassroots movement empowering a critical mass of well-informed and skilled Latino parents who ensure that their children arrive at kindergarten ready to learn. El Paso involves parents at the most basic level of child growth and development before they enter the public education system. Recently, they have also formed a core of tutors, including many BVUUF members, to work with students up to 12th grade. After you've made your contribution, we invite you to type in the chat an answer to this question as it follows up Tad's presentation. What's an experience that has helped you learn and listen differently, especially this past year? Thank you for your contribution and for the work of this fellowship, bringing love, reason, compassion, and justice to this world. And for El Paso, we dedicate our offerings.
And now we sing.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. And now I invite us into our time of community connection, our time of sacred sharing. If you'd like to share a joy or concern, please type it into the chat window, sending it to everyone, and let us know briefly what is on your heart today. I'll read out loud what you shared. If you would like us to be able to follow up with you, please include your full name and where you live in your chat. I'll put a stone in our sacred waters on your behalf. All right, I'll put one last stone for the joys and concerns that remain in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, knowing that even in our silence, we are connected in the web of life. And now, for a pastoral prayer, we're going to sing together. We're going to sing My Life Flows On in Endless Song. So I need just a second to switch configurations.
Mm-hmm. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging.
Thanks, Tad and Emily. Scott Nelson asked, beautiful awareness, what tradition does that come from? I just looked it up. The words to that song are from a Quaker song, and the tune is an American gospel song. Hi, I'm Deborah Mensch, and if you've joined us recently, you may not know that in addition to hosting on Zoom, I lead our treble choir, One Voice. It's been a really weird year plus to be a choir. But despite all that, our closing song today is Connected by Brian Tate. Brian was the choral clinician at a UU Musicians Conference a few years ago, and I learned this piece in the conference choir with him directing. He explained that his inspiration for the song was the idea of quantum mechanical entanglement, the idea that two particles very far away in space could still have a connection with each affecting the other. Couldn't the same be true of people? I think this message has gotten more compelling and relevant over the course of the pandemic in several ways. First, as the pandemic pushed many of us into lockdown, we had to learn how to nurture our human needs for connection at a distance. Second, during this time when white folks have become increasingly aware of the racism that Black, Indigenous, and other people of color have been living with for centuries, more people are realizing how much their own liberation is bound up with the liberation of all. Our experiences in this world are different, but we are made of the same stuff. As the song you're about to hear puts it, I am you, you are me. If we're going to build a world of greater equity and justice, we will have to connect across barriers that have lasted far too long. A great song leader, Yara Allen, sang, somebody's hurting my people, and it's gone on far too long. And I won't be silent anymore. Our people are here with us, and they're also all over this hurting world. The same goes for ending this pandemic. Ending a pandemic in one country isn't a thing that happens. We also have to act across borders and distances. Our actions have to travel as far as the virus. What happens in Michigan, in Brazil, in India, in South Africa is molecularly intertwined with what happens here. We have to get as good at spreading vaccines and other forms of help as we are at spreading variants. So thinking about all this, we took this playful pre-pandemic song and we made a video about connection across distance and isolation. Dozens of BVUUF members and friends answered the call and contributed in safely distanced ways. Though you'll also see a few fully vaccinated friends interacting toward the end, like that light I can see at the end of this still very long tunnel. We took all these separate parts, including quite a few visual jokes. How many can you find? And pieced them together, images and sound joining in a collective tribute to the ways we have found to stay connected in these difficult times. May we continue to connect beyond distance and difference through policy and prayer, with medicine and with music. I can't sit still when I listen to this song, and I hope you'll dance along too.
I am, you are me. That's what I said. I am, you are me. Don't you see? I am, you are me. That's what I said. I am, you are me. Don't you see? I am, you are me. That's what I said. I am, you are me. Don't you see? It's like I'm over here and you're over there. That's what I said. Something between us that's greater than air. Don't you see? It's like I'm over here and you're over there. That's what I said. Something between us that's greater than air. Don't you see? It's like I'm over here and you're over there. That's what every universe that's greater than you. Don't you see? Like I'm over here, and you're over there. That's what I say. Something every universe that's greater than you. Don't you see? Like I'm over here, and you're over there. That's what I say. Something every universe that's greater than you. Don't you see? Like I'm over here, and you're over there. That's what I say. Something every universe that's greater than you. Don't you see? Like I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start. I am, you are me. That's what I said. I am, you are me. Don't you see? Like I'm over here, and you're over there. That's what I said. Something between us that's greater than that. Don't you see? Like I'm over here, and you're over there. That's what I said. Something between us that's greater than that. Don't you see? Like I'm over here, and you're over there. That's what I said. Something between us that's greater than that. Don't you see? Like I'm over here, and you're over there. That's what I say. Something between us that's greater than that. Don't you see? Like I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start. I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start. I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start.
Can I hijack the service for a second?
You may.
I just want to can we like unmute and just cheer for that, for crying out loud? Everybody just unmute. Thank-
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mary and Paul.
Fantastic.
Come on, yes. Yeah.
job.
Oh my God.
Oh man, how do I follow up on that? We come to our extinguishing the chalice and the benediction. So let's extinguish our chalice, but not the warmth of love, nor the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. I am, you are me. Come as we go forth, let's sing a song together. Let's lean on each other and let's turn the world around. As promised, here are the announcements for our upcoming events and today's breakout rooms. The leaders from today's service will be in a breakout room if you'd like to come, talk about the service or about involvement in the fellowship's music program. We'll have a virtual coffee hour also as usual. So first, the announcements. We're looking for service associates for this upcoming year. Our Sunday service is a collaboration between the minister and the congregants. Do you like to delve into a topic or cultivate gems, ideas, or do you enjoy speaking to people, or even if you don't? If so, we'd love to have you. Apply by filling out an application that's in the chat. And I encourage you to do so. This is my first year doing it, and it's a wonderful group of people to work with. Secondly, from the opening of the building team, we need to hear from you. As we begin the process of safely opening, we want to assess our congregation's comfort level with various in-person and virtual scenarios. We put together a short survey for each and every one of you to fill out because your responses are an essential part of our planning. We hope you are as excited as we are about beginning the journey towards our new normal. You can access the survey at the link now being pasted into the chat. By the way, the deadline to complete this survey is May 25th. You can also find the survey addressed in the chat and in last Friday's connection and our listserv. So there's a number of options. Please do this so the committee can look these over. Next announcement is please join us in watching this brief video announcement. The registration link for the series Jen is describing will be in the chat.
Hey y'all, Jen Simon here. I'm the minister to the Mountaintop BIPOC community and the coordinator for Colorado UUs for Racial Justice. These are both ministries that your congregation is helping to support, and I wanted to invite you, more than that, to urge you to take part in the UUs for Racial Justice Summer Series, Reaching Deeper, Building Relationships at the Speed of Trust. Now, if I've been in your pulpit in the last few months, you've heard me talk about the UURJ Summer Series as part of the work we're doing to live more fully into our UU values of collective liberation and spiritual wholeness. The purpose of this series is to continue the work of building a robust intercongregational coalition to explore what non-hierarchical and accountable anti-racism and anti-oppression work might practically look like as we UUs do the work of dismantling white supremacy in our congregations. So we want everybody to sign up. We need as many of you, everybody, to take part in this series this summer as possible, because the more of your voices we hear, the more relationships we can build, and the stronger, more effective, and more relevant this work will be to our congregations going into the next church year. So now's your chance to sign up. Our kickoff event is the weekend of June 4th through 6th, and we'll have events Friday night through Sunday, including an intercongregational joint Sunday worship service. After that, there will be meetings for various smaller cohorts over the course of the summer. So check your newsletter for our sign-up flyer, or navigate now to the registration page on your screen. Registration will be open until May 23rd, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you.